In this video, I'll show you how I make pretty tassels for my books, including how to make paper beads. So here we go. So I attach a piece of string to my text block, just slightly overhanging, so that I can attach a lobster clasp. And so I'll take that off to start and get my supplies together. Ribbons, approximately 16 to 17 inches long for most of the pieces. Doesn't have to be exact, sort of based on whatever you have available. Plus I have some strips of fabric that I just tore from a sheet, and some sheer fabric as well. They're all approximately the same length, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And so I like to put layers on. I'll put some fabric, then the ribbon, some more fabric, and then some more ribbon. I also have chain, and I've attached a little charm at each end and some dangle beads. And this is for my Wine and Roses book that I'm making. And this is some beautiful crystal chain, just to add some bling. So I'm gathering this all up together. And I'm going to use some silver wire. And I want to try to get it in the middle of the wire and then bend it. And I'm trying to get the tops even, the ends there even. And I'm going to try and get everything settled in there. I like to have the chain showing at the top, so I'm moving that around a little bit, and then I'm going to twist the wire. I like to twist it 3 times, trying to keep those 2 pieces of wire together. Adding my cap, it's a bead cap, to the top. Just settling that in there, and then I will add a spacer bead, and this is a heart shape. Just add a little bit of interest to the top of the tassel there. Okay, I want to try to get everything in a good place there. I'd like to have the chain and the crystal chain on the top showing through instead of the hidden underneath the fabric. When it's showing at the front, at the top, it makes a nice little crown for the top of the tassel. So there we go. Just fiddling with it till it's where I want it to be. So I am grasping that wire, trying to get those 2 wires together as close as possible, because I'm using the pliers to make a 90-degree angle there. I'm grabbing my round pliers and I'm twisting over the top, and then I turn my wrist to make a 90-degree angle. And there you go. Push those 2 together. And then I'm adding the lobster clasp to the loop there that I just made. Now I need to close that loop off with a technique called wire wrapping. So I'm just wrapping that excess, that tail, around the underneath of that loop there. And usually it'll go around a couple times. The silver wire I'm using is soft enough that I can just bend it with my hands here. But I can only go so far, and then I need a little bit of help from the pliers. So these are my needle nose pliers. I'm just grabbing the very end of those 2 wires and just twisting them around a little bit to get them closer into place there underneath the loop. So I'm going to add, at the top there, I'm going to add this piece of fabric. So I've got some glue, fabric glue there. Just put a spot of glue on there and I'm just wrapping it around. And I'm looking for a place that's sort of flat before I put another dab of glue there. I just want a nice flat area there. Okay, and add some more glue. And I've left quite a long tail there so that I can pull it tight and hang on to it while the glue dries. All right. Okay, that should be dry. So now I just come in and cut off the tail, the excess there. And a little piece of red. And that's my tassel. So I'm just fluffing everything out there. I've got the beads on this one, ribbon, the crystal chain. See, it looks like a little crown at the top there. It's so cute. All right, everything looks good. So to make a paper bead, I'm just using a strip of excess paper. This is from the kit that I'm making the book from. So I'm just cutting it up the middle, but I want to cut on a diagonal so that each side has a point. So I'm going to start with the flat part, not the pointy part. And I'm gonna get my glue ready here. And I grab my crochet hook and I'm going to start rolling. This is the hardest part here, is getting it to start. I'm just rolling that edge in and then it'll grab on, hopefully. And here I start rolling, rolling. I'm trying to keep the paper in the middle as much as I can, but it's okay. It does go a little bit off from side to side. And when it gets stiff enough, I can just move the crochet hook out. It makes it a little bit easier to roll. And I'm going to add a bit of glue here just to keep it all together. Don't need very much. Just smooth out a bit. And I have a little bit of glue left on my finger there. So I'm going to use that to just kind of dab it on the end there. And that is a cute little paper bead. And it matches my project. So after it's dry, I'm taking about a 2-inch piece of wire and I'm going to just roll with my round pliers, roll the wire end to make a little loop, and I'm just rolling it sort of side to side and just doing half turns. And then that will make 2 loops. Push those together. Perfect. I'm adding a little silver bead. And then I will grab my paper bead and another little silver bead. And that just keeps the paper bead from sort of moving around. Okay, now I'm going to do the wire wrapping technique again with my pliers. Make a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to grab my round pliers. Do the same thing. I'm making a loop here. So I'm bringing the wire over the top and then twisting my wrist back and making it into a loop there. It's a bit awkward, but. And then I'm grabbing onto the tail end there and I'm going to wrap that around right under the loop. And I want to sort of wrap it around as much as I can. I prefer to just keep wrapping the whole tail, but you could cut it off if you wanted to after doing, 2 or 3 loops around. If you have too much wire, that's fine. And I'm just gonna try to grab that and then squish it with my pliers so it's not sticking out. And there you go. That's a paper bead, and it matches the project because I'm using the same paper. So this is my Wine and Roses tassel. There's my paper bead that I just made, and a little corkscrew chain, and a little bottle chain in there too somewhere. And that just matches the theme of the wine book that I'm making. There's the little hearts. This is 2 tassels, and the chain, and some fabric strips, and there's the crystal chain. And I've got the link for that from Amazon in my description below the video. So here are some books that I've made with different tassels using different materials. This is my boho tassel, and that's got feathers on it, lace, rope or string, and some brightly colored beads. There's chain with another feather charm on it, and that goes with the theme of the book. And this is my Jane's journal, and that's just simply chain with some beads at the bottom that were wire wrapped on a head pin and attached with a bulb pin, so they can be the tassel can be taken off if needed. And this is my feel good journal. And this is some lace and ribbon and some fabric. There's that beautiful shiny crystal chain in pretty white to match the cover there. And the rustic boho book is the last one to go here. And there's some paper beads to match the paper that's I used in the book. And all these journals are available for sale. Just go to my website, yesimadeitmyself.com. And we'll continue with a couple of other journals that I made. This is my Asian themed journal, and it has some really pretty beads, pink beads at the top, some beautiful charms, some bright silver chain, and some little cherry blossom charm at the bottom that goes with the cherry blossoms in the picture on the front of the book. And this is my Journal des Roses, and I made that little heart out of the same paper that I made the cover from, and I put diamond glaze on it and then put the glitter cardstock on the back. So it all matches quite nicely, very pink and very pretty. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial or this show and tell, and that you make some yourself. Thanks for watching.